Right, let's go. Hey, how's it going? Oh my goodness. We've got something pretty exciting today. Something really exciting today. Gonna be checking out the WayForward Crash uh landed demo, tech demo. This is provided by I believe it's Darkaiser. Let me see. Yeah, Darkaiser. So much appreciated to them for releasing this and everybody that helped fund this through Kofi. It was pretty cool. And now we're finally here. We're finally playing it. So let's do it. Let's do it to it. I think some of the builds have music in it, so I don't really need background music. But then also we have a design doc that we'll be looking at because I'm very intrigued by that as well. How's everybody doing? Hello, Francisco and Sin. Also, to everyone that's viewing from Twitter, if you would like to interact, I am also live on YouTube. So there we go. Without further ado, what's up, Slime? Let's get into it. So, this, interestingly enough, doesn't use the touchscreen, aside from, I guess, just tapping to start. I was thinking that I was going to use the touchscreen because there's a game that's very similar to this. It's a Looney Tunes game. It's Taz Galaxy. I forget what it's called. It is centered around Taz. It looks very familiar, so I'm not sure if that's what this game ended up being. It looks like it, but this is one of the few tech demos. Let's get started. Yeah, Crash Team Rumble Season 4 is looking pretty sick right now. I actually gotta turn down the volume just a tad bit, just to make sure. So we got, like, I'm assuming this is a map. There's an enemy, yeah. It's like a zombie enemy. We can spin. We can jump. Can we, what was that? Is that just what he looks like from the front? He breaks his arms as he's jumping. Got a Wumpa fruit right there. 35. We got a 35 Wumpa fruit. Heck yeah. All the Wumpa fruit in the world is ours. Alright, so no like ground slam or anything like that. Oh my gosh, this looks really weird. Man, I wish that we would have seen this come to full fruition. At least see like a fully complete version of it, because this would have been interesting to have on the DS. Well, all right, two segments here. Really taking 3D platforming to a whole new level. Let's see, let's go that way. I want to see what's in the background. I wonder what the main use of the map is other than just trying to detect enemies. These platforms don't do anything. This would not have. This is a tech demo, Shin. Of course it would have sucked. Oh, is there any way to go back? No. Once you've made the decision to drop down, you cannot go back. This is a funky Crash model. Who would have ever thought that WayForward of all companies would have pitched a Crash game? Kind of makes me wish that they tried again, especially with the way that they plan to do McDonald's. Yeah, the McWumpa. We never even got the McWumpa with the Team Rumble promotion. I mean, at least Team Rumble gave us another McDonald's promotion. I have a feeling this ends the level. Oh, it doesn't. You just have Titans crash here. I don't... What does this signify? Is this supposed to be like... Maybe a one-up would be here or something? Or maybe it's trying to tell me there's danger ahead. Oh, and you can keep spinning, too. I am a tech demo. I'm proud to be a tech demo. Oh, that parallax background. I just noticed. I thought it was just a still image. I also love like the clouds that you have going down on the bottom of the screen, showcasing that you are very high up. We got a star. Oh, oh, they even tried to include, I guess, a boulder isk level. Okay. Oh, this makes me sad now. I love these types of levels. Would probably be better if they could have added in like a sliding mechanic. I don't know how difficult that would have been. Probably not too difficult. I'm just a natural at boulder levels. Oh, that's slow down. Okay, so that's pretty much it for that one. Okay. Well, we do have a few more. So let me see here. I think there's like two more. I'm not sure how different they are from one another. But let me just grab them. All right, so this is a build from July 28th. Let's do the July 28th build. It'd be so difficult that your D-pad breaks. I mean, Crash had a full 3D platformer on DS, and that was Crash of the Titans. And no, there was no double jump from what I saw. There was just jump and spin. Okay, so this is a much earlier build. Moo to you too. Okay. The Wumpa fruit are just gems, and they give 40 rather than 35 for a score. Interesting that they had sound effects for the enemies in this one. Looks to be about the same level design. Yeah, most certainly is. Wee. I see some graphical tearing. Clouds are more detailed. Yeah, they do seem to be more detailed. Whoa, that spin is very unfinished. Taz? Hey, look, it's Taz! Taz the Tasmanian Tiger from Crash Bandicoot. I love Taz the Tasmanian Tiger from. Yes, I'm saying tiger. See if anyone's catching that I'm saying tiger instead of devil. I love Taz the Tasmanian Devil. He's so cool. They should make a Taz the Tasmanian Devil movie, and he's voiced by Chris Pratt. That'd be epic. Oh hey, look! Instead of it being in the foreground, it's actually in the background for this platform segment. It's Taz. So maybe it did get turned into that Taz game that they ended up making. Oh, here goes the star again. The Fairly Odd Parents star. Okay. All right, and that's as far as I got in July 28th, 2009. The next one's from July 31st, 2009. Okay, it looks very similar to the other build that we just played. So I'm gonna assume that it might be the exact same. Maybe some different placements or okay. Got a little bit of sound effect going. Okay, 35. Yeah, no double jump. go in the background this time around. Zoom. I wonder if these platforms are supposed to be retractable in some way. Maybe you find like switches in the level. Oh. Continuously spin. Hello, Crash of the Titans crash. It'll just get shelved by WB. Yeah, anything that you do that's creative at WB just gets shelved anyway. It's okay. Zaslav, your time is coming. I was thinking that maybe they'd like let you spin away the Wumpa fruit, but I guess not. Okay, and we do have the chase level again. So it's pretty much the same as the other one. Whee. I just love that little jump that he does. Look at him doing the Chad Bandicoot walk. Wah. Wah. Love the little jump sound effect. Can you jump on the enemies? Oh, you can. So it is just like Mario. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, that was the tech demos. Now let's take a look at the design documents because I'm very intrigued to see what they had planned. I'll put on some music in the background for this. Okay. Some design documents. Let's go. I had a tab open for it. Let me find it. There it is. All right, then I'll get rid of this for now. Oh, Crash Bandicoot. Okay. Do that. There we go. All right. So, let's have a look here. The pitch document by WayForward. Crash Bandicoot for Nintendo DS. Proposal by WayForward. Alright, the mission statement was to give Crash Bandicoot the WayForward treatment. Giving the game a spin that only we can. To return Crash to his PlayStation glory days. To focus on enhancing the classic gameplay that made Crash great in the first place. To showcase the emotions and personality of Crash through the gameplay. To create a hybrid platformer that does Crash justice. To capture the artistic styling for the console Crash landed. Get some nice concept art. Looks sort of like the background that we saw in the little tech demo that we were playing through. So very interested in that. Or Crash on the Run. Yes, rest in peace. Though I think there's like people that are like hosting a fan server for that. I could be wrong. All images in this document generated by WayForward for this proposal. Okay. Crash DS uses the art style of Crash Landed for consoles, giving the game a fresh, cartoony feel. While he cavorts around, cavorts. That's a funny word. The reborn and restyled Crash is emotive in ways that he never was before. The gameplay is a mixture of classic Crash games, boldly mixed in with a new item system. Crash finds a single item part in each level and then combines them to create new gadgets that mix up the gameplay and keep it fresh. Interesting. This whole adventure is set in a hub world represented by Crash's island home, which he must explore in order to unlock the secret of his past and defeat the evil Dr. Neocortex. Is this a book? It's basically the design document. So whenever you're like making a game and you're working with a specific IP, or if you want to work on a game or a specific IP, you basically design the prototype of the game, and then you have to put together a pitch document that showcases what your vision is for the game, like what the story is, how the game's gonna be, just basically, in your own words, describing how you would handle the game. Then you pitch it, you present it to executives and whatnot at the company, and if they like the idea, you'll go forward with it, and if they don't, then it'll just, be a no, and everyone goes home sad. But that's okay because there's other projects to work on, and that's sadly what happened with WayForward. This is a design document for a game that they were pitching that just never saw the light of day, and unfortunately, because it never saw the light of day, a lot of its assets and whatnot got reused for another game, which was like a Taz game for the DS. Dave Goodrich worked on the CTR reboot that got canceled. His Hot Wheels mods from V8 was going to be in that game. Huh, interesting. In keeping with the return to the roots, this game aims to create a very organic experience, from the hub and island to the unhindered gameplay. This game is as smooth as silk. Very, very confident in that, weren't you? Like the Crash games of old, there are no tutorials, hand-holding, extended cinematic cutscenes, or interface. The game is intuitive enough to require none of these contravans. Why can't I English today? It's truly pick up and play. Best of all, the story and mood are covered through the gameplay, which sucks the player into the bold new world. This concept art, oh my god, that I'm making this my phone wallpaper later. This is gonna be my phone wallpaper. I don't know what it is about boulder levels in Crash Bandicoot, or like the bear levels in Crash Bandicoot. Just any segment where he's running towards the camera is always gonna be one of my favorite parts of the Crash series. It's just such a unique style of playing a game. And I wish they'd make a mobile game where it's like randomly generated and you just try to keep going, see how long you can survive a boulder chasing you. Sort of like Crash on the Run, but you're running towards the camera instead of away from the camera. Crash Bandicoot is a platformer at heart. His early titles focus exclusively on action, timing puzzles, crate jumping, collecting crystals, finding secrets, and running from big scary things. Unfortunately, some later Crash games lost sight of the gold standard gameplay, and Crash's popularity and review scores suffered. Therefore, Crash DS marks a return to form with platforming and timing puzzles, but this time with a twist. Enter the items. I wonder if they're referring to the Titans and Mind of a Mutant games, or are they trying to like underhand what those games brought to the table? Item Overlord or Overload. Could you imagine? No, I'm just good. Overlord. Crash collects items throughout the course of his adventure, but instead of finding only crystals and gems, he will find useful components that combine to make new items. These items take the forms of projectile weapons and strange gadgets that help Crash through the stages. Some possible examples. Ice Blocker. This weapon fires an ice... I think... English. This weapon fires an ice shard that freezes the first enemy it touches. These enemies form ice blocks that the player can jump onto to reach secret areas. Also use it to freeze waterfalls and lakes for a limited time, but cross quickly before they thaw. Sort of reminds me of like SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom with Patrick, where you could like pick up the ice cubes and throw it into the water. Sucker Upper. Maybe a dig at Crash Bash. Maybe. I don't know. Because even though Crash Bash came out and it was like weird, we still had that era afterwards where Crash still tried to retain to its roots. I mean, Twinsanity most certainly went a completely different direction, but still had some segments that I felt were very classic Crash. So any game after Twinsanity is like the area that I think WayForward was really trying to dig at. This vacuum sucks up enemies and crates and spits them out again. So like Kirby, fire wants to suck up and again to spit out whatever you sucked up. It can be used to get rid of pesky patrolling enemies and also be used to suck up TNT or nitro crates. Get them out of the way or save them for later use. Save a crate through the whole level and then use it on a crate at the very end. Sort of reminds me of Dingo Dial's vacuum from Crash 4. Not sure if they had any idea this was something that was being pitched or if they even knew of this design document, but that definitely kind of vaguely reminds me of Dingo Dial because of being able to suck up TNT crates and like shoot them at other things. Rubber bander. Fire the bander to stick a stick. Fire the bander to stick a stick of rubber. What did they mean by that? Band to create to a crate. Okay. Fire the bander to stick a rubber band to a crate or an enemy. Okay, that's what they're trying to say. Fire again to attach the other end to whatever surface you desire. The two ends will snap together. Stick an enemy to a ceiling or a rubber band the legs of a large enemy. You could also use this on crates. Stick one side to a TNT crate and another side to a metal crate, and blow up that metal crate with impunity as the TNT crate smashes into it. Huh. Kind of reminds me of I'm not too familiar with the tool in Gmod, but like there's a tool in Gmod if you've ever played Gary's mod where you can like attach one thing to another with like I guess it would be a rope or something, and you can kind of see how it like reacts like that. That would have been interesting. I don't know how they would have really utilized that going forward in levels, because like I feel like you'd have to put a lot of thought into how you would want to create certain puzzles behind the rubber bander, but still a pretty cool idea. Yeah. Uh all right. Propeller beanie. Besides looking stylish, the propeller beanie gives Crash a little extra lift. It's like having a third jump. Use a jump spin propeller combo to get across the mightiest gaps. Additionally, you can hold the button after jumping to hover briefly. Reminds me of isn't there like a propeller cap or a propeller mushroom in New Super Mario Brothers? That's what it sounds like. That I don't know. They're not really saying whether this would have been using the touchpad. I would assume that it would, considering that none of these items were present in like the tech demo that they showed off. Um, so I would imagine that that's probably what they would probably use the touchpad for, so you can like select which weapon you want to use and whatnot. Uh, Zap Cap. Don the Zap Cap to give Crash a shock that electrifies him for a short period of time. Crash illuminates dark areas while lit up. During this time, all enemies he runs into will be electrocuted. Also, Crash can zap generators and powered lifts to get them working again so he can ride them. That's interesting. Clone projector. This high-tech gizmo creates another copy of Crash, Carbon Crash. Okay. Wherever he is standing, it acts as a decoy that enemies and projectiles will gravitate towards, leaving the real Bandicoot alone. The clone can also be used to hold down switches, keeping doors open or hazards disabled. Huh. So they I guess they wanted to like reintroduce Carbon Crash into this kind of landscape, which would be pretty interesting, make more use out of them. All right. Game structure. Crash DS is structured using a hub area that connects to the meat of the game. This hub area uses branching paths like the original Crash games and otherwise plays like a normal Crash level, albeit with many destinations. Crash's island is separated into worlds that you can only access once you collected specific items. This way, the player must collect the items before going to the world in which they will be used. Man, sounds like a lot of backtracking was going to be in this game. This way, once you are in a world, the levels inside may be played in any order. This structure is a bit similar to Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back, but with a more organic analog than a tower hub. There's a sample world structure based on items in this document. More Crash's Cortex Nightmare. I like that they're pulling stuff or referencing Crash Bandicoot 2, the peak Crash Bandicoot game of all time. Is Carbon Crash a canon character? I mean, that's up to debate. I don't really know what people see Carbon Crash as. I just know that he was like the multiplayer thing that would pop up whenever you wanted to play multiplayer in Titans. I feel like he did have a skin in On the Run. I could be wrong. World 3, get Rubber Bander. World 2, get Propeller Beanie. Need Ice Blocker. Okay, so you would start off in the hub area, go to the World 1, get the Ice Blocker, alright? And then you come back, World 2, continue to World 3. Or if you went to World 2, you could just go... Well, do you need... Let's see, hold on. No, so 1, and then go up 2, 3, and then you get the Rubber Bander and the Propeller Beanie, but you can't go to World 5 yet because you need the Clone Projector, which you get from World 4. You could technically... Okay. I see. Interesting. Very interesting. Moment-to-moment gameplay. Once you enter a level, there are the tools you have... wait, what? Okay. I just read that wrong. Once you enter a level, these are the tools you will have available in Crash DS. It's all about jumping into action and having fun immediately. Mobility. Crash moves around using the D-pad. He can use his trademark spin, Y, jump, B, and press R to slide. So they were planning to add the slide in. When he jumps from a slide, he can do a high jump. These basic moves form the Crash arsenal. It definitely sounds more like a Coco thing, but I feel like with Crash Landed, that's sort of like the vibe that they were trying to go for. It was a very different like vibe in general for Crash, or just like completely reworking the series and like I guess being like a retelling of the Crash lore with some more darker moments in it, darker tones and whatnot. Because I know there's like a lot of like test animations that came out for Crash Landed like long time ago where it just shows him utilizing different weapons and whatnot. So definitely not too out of the ballpark for what they were trying to do, but definitely more of a Coco thing. Still pretty interesting that they wanted Crash to really use them. But I mean, also at the same time, not too different because Crash does get the Wumpazooka in Crash 3. So he's familiar with using weapons. Run, jump, high jump, slide, spin. Weapons. New to Crash DS, Crash can equip a single weapon that can be switched out at any time using the DS's touchscreen. Okay, just as I had expected. These weapons have finite ammo that must be collected from ammo crates. Oh god, it's Shadow the Hedgehog all over again. And a shot by pressing A. These weapons are used as environmental puzzle solvers as well as to instigate carnage. Turn an enemy into an ice block platform or stick them to the ceiling using Rubber Bander. The possibilities are finite. I think they meant to put infinite. Because, you know, while you have a finite amount of ammo that you can use, the possibilities are infinite. Crash fires the weapons in whatever direction he is facing. This means that because we have a digital input, it will feel like 8-way control. Okay. Helper items. Crash can equip a helper item at any time, activate it by pressing L, fly across pits using the Propeller Beanie, or create a doppelganger at enemies will target instead of you. These items can be used over and over again. They do not need to be repeatedly collected. Okay. Interesting. So once you've collected it, you basically don't have to collect it ever again. And I'm assuming it would work on a cooldown rather than having to collect like ammo for it or whatever. Switching items. The player can switch items at any time by tapping them on the touchscreen. Big buttons for items can be pressed with a thumb. This touchscreen HUD will also house any information you need to know about the current game in progress, but will be quite minimal. Collectibles. Strewn throughout the levels are collectibles that must be hunted down. They aren't all necessary, but seeing that 100% is a completionist's dream, at WayForward we know how to blend casual with completionism, so this is a no-brainer for us. Item or weapon piece, one per level. The player must grab each item piece in the world in order to build a new item or weapon. These are must-find items. Crate completion, gem, one per level. Break all crates to obtain this gem. Gems are the super unlockable and are used to obtain the best game ending. Oh, so they were planning on having 2 endings for this game. Crystal, 2 per level. 2 crystals per level? Huh. Find these crystals to unlock bonuses like concept art. Collecting more crystals let the player unlock bonus levels that are extra tough. Okay, so crystals weren't even like going to be like a big like thing for this game other than just, you know, getting bonus stuff, which is really weird because you would think that it would be the gems, but I guess that's one way to repurpose it. I feel like the crystals would have more of an importance though. I don't know. Baddies and objects. Game objects. Many in-game objects return from previous crash games, but just as many are all new. Some examples. Crate. Jump on it for jump boost or spin it to break it. Multi-hit crate can be jumped on multiple times. Steel crate can be blown up with TNT crate or shot with certain weapons. TNT crate kills you when you spin it. When you touch it, it counts down from 3, then explodes. These can be used in chain reactions. Nitro crate. Touching these means instant death. Okay, that makes sense. Yep, that makes a lot of sense. Invisible crates and exclamation point crates. These crates are shown only as outlines until Crash hits the exclamation point block, at which point the crate fills in and can be used as platforms. Ammo crates, which is just for the ammo. Trap crate. This crate starts out open until Crash walks into it. Then it snaps shut, and Crash must bang, boom, bust. Bang, bang, boom, bust. Bang, bang, boom, bust. His way out of it. And the cool part about this crate is that it can be used to trap enemies. Just get them to follow you in your path. Huh, that would have been interesting to see. Mini ball. This little version of your arch nemesis, the rolling ball, lies still on the ground. If you spin it, it will get started rolling forward, smashing enemies in its path and breaking down walls to reveal secrets. However, you must keep up with it. Okay. Spin motor / platform. This little motor is broken. By spinning it up, Crash can move the attached platform in small increments. Spin, 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 and the platform will move until it's close enough. Switch crate. Certain levels have red and blue crates. When blue crates are visible, red crates are invisible, and vice versa. Crash can hit the switch crate to change which crates show up. This can be used for very devious action segments. I don't like how they stated very devious action segments. Makes me just feel like they were like brainstorming all these different level designs that would actually put the player through the utmost amount of pain and misery. Bee crate. Spinning this crate releases a swarm of angry bees. Crash has to run away from them until they give up, or lure them to an unwitting enemy. So it looks like a lot of these, like, there's at least 2 crates, but I'm assuming that the switch crate could also be used as, like, a way to kill enemies if you lead the enemy onto a crate that's already active and then you use the switch crate to switch colors and just make the enemy fall. But it's really interesting seeing how they came up with like the trap crate and then obviously the bee crate, using crates to go up against enemies, more environmental, which is very interesting for like a 2D platformer kind of thing that they were going for. Enemies. Crash's enemies are all about timing. In this game, they will be more reactionary to your actions and be tougher opponents so that Crash's new items will be required. Here are some examples of new enemies that could be dispatched with your new items. Rocket Roo. This rabid Roo fires rockets at Crash. Use the sucker upper to spit them back or distract the homing missiles with your clone. Huh. Oh yeah, you probably could like, yeah, anything that walks over the trap crate would have just instantly just snapped, probably. Big leg stepper. This big beast has 2 long legs. Tangle him up with the rubber bander to send him crashing down. Bull charger. This guy charges at you when he sees you. If you make a clone, however, he'll charge at that instead. Magnet Monkey. This monkey is too heavily armored to jump on and destroy. When you use the Zap Cap, he will be repelled by your electromagnetic field. Flying Squirrel. When you use the sucker upper on this guy, you suck to him as he flies through the air. I don't why is it worded like that? Keep the vacuum on and Crash will continue to hold onto him. This way he can carry you from place to place. Make sure to release at the right time, not over a pit or a hazard. Lava Bug. These bugs hops out of lava, but a quick shot with the ice blocker will turn him into an ice platform that Crash can stand on. Move quickly because that ice melts fast. Bosses. Okay, here we go. This is where it starts to get a little bit more interesting because I am very curious about like what they envisioned as bosses here. As if platforming through vicious challenges on a hostile island weren't enough, Cortex's minions are also after Crash. Bosses are the 3 hits to kill me variety. Each will require using the item collected in the world against him. Here are some examples. Okay. Immortal Wombat. In his lair, the Immortal Wombat has a Lazarus pit that keeps him eternally invincible. After chasing Crash around and taking damage, the Wombat will return to his pit to recharge. When he is about to hop in, use the ice block on a pit to freeze it over and prevent Immortal Wombat from revitalizing himself. Paraplegic Platypus. Despite being unable to move his arms and legs, this manic mammal is dangerous. He uses telekinesis to move big blocks around and smash Crash. They hover above Crash, then free fall downward. The secret is to use the rubber bander to fling the blocks back at the platypus, putting him down for good. Overdrive Echidna. The Echidna, man, it's just, I don't know, whenever I think of Echidna, I immediately think, man, Sonic. This Echidna must be pumped up on steroids or something, because he is buffed, and he's buffed out and enraged. Lucky for Crash, he's also as dumb as toast. Use the clone generator to make a doppelganger conveniently over a pit. Overdrive Echidna will charge at the pit and fall into it. When he opts out, enraged, he'll smash large areas of the playfield using the propeller beanie. Using the propeller beanie while he's stomping around makes dodging this seismic attacks a lot easier. Huh. Very interesting 3 bosses. I wish that they had, like, I don't know, maybe had some concept art. I would have really loved to have seen how any of these enemies would have looked. Are these native to Australia? I'm not too certain about native, like the animals that are native 100% to Australia. I know a wombat is because, you know, that's what Crash originally was going to be, but another buff daddy. Sonic and Crash crossover win. Soon, I hope so. I would love to see them crossover. Environments. The sandy beaches of Insanity Island. A tropical island with a mad scientist running amok is a great setting for a game. As a reboot to the Crash series, we see visiting both familiar and new areas. God, I love this concept art so much. I really do. Beach. Crash finds himself here on the beach. This area has rainy, melancholy areas, as well as the brightly lit paradise that you would imagine in the tropics. This easy introduction will help players become acclimated to the game and appreciate its rich visual style. Dark caves. Some areas here are nicely lit, with light streaming in through foliage-covered holes. However, there is also a lot of dimly lit areas. Light up enemies and Crash's Zap Cap will be used to make the environment glow and show the way. Rainforest. This is a Crash staple, the verdant rainforest. Palm trees and lush foliage line the sidelines as you romp through paths to victory. This area is full of dumb enemies that will be fooled by your clone. Sweaty desert. This desert is so hot, hot, hot. Staying on the hot sand too long will burn Crash, so he has to stay in the shade. Scorpions and other enemies litter this landscape. Stay cool by making liberal use of the ice blocker. Ancient Temple. This temple is another Crash classic. The outer gates and inner fortress have lots of spiked logs, angry natives, and closing gates. Making good use of the propeller beanie will let Crash float over these platforms. Land of the Lost. Lava is the least of your worries when you have massive dinosaurs stomping around. Carefully navigate between stampedes and running away screaming from Dr. Cortex's cybernetic T-Rex. The rubber bander is put to great use here to tie up dino legs. Cortex's lab. Finally, you can find the answers about your past. This technological haven is full of precarious platforms and electrical obstacles. It will take all of Crash's new items and abilities to get through to Cortex. I do like the layout that they're going for. Beach, dark caves, rainforest, sweaty desert, ancient temple, land of the lost, Cortex lab. Very much stuff that you would find in the Crash Bandicoot game. Control layout. This layout will be familiar to any Crash veterans and also add some new functionality to freshen up the game. Use item, slide, move, fire weapon, spin, jump. Okay, so they would have used A to fire the weapon. B, yeah, okay. Art style. Crash DS will make a very focused attempt to adhere to Crash Landed's style guide. Using the style guide as a template, we will craft a DS game that fits in like a perfect puzzle piece. For further info, please check that document. I do not have that document. Oh, yo. An HD version of the Crash model. Look at his smile. That beautiful smile. Excuse me. All right. A sample Crash model put together by our crack modeling team. Our crack modeling team. The music in Crash DS will be a mixture of classic Crash tunes and, when appropriate, the acapella style. They were gonna do the. No, you can't do this to me. They were gonna have the best Crash music of all time in the game. No. WayForward knew. WayForward knew what peak was. Oh, man. The Crash will take a mature look at the music, being jubilant in happy environments and perhaps even melancholy in dim environments. We take music very seriously at WayForward, so please look forward to a soundtrack that is catchy and memorable, which we never got. Oh. Aw. I just want Crash to have another acapella. Scope. 7 themed worlds plus 1 hub world. 6 levels per world for 42 levels total. 7 bosses of the 3 hits to kill me variety. 20 enemies to fight. 20 objects to puzzle over. 7 environments with visual variations of each. Obtain 6 all new weapons and items. Minimal interface. 4 secret baubles per level. And overall playtime 5 to 7 hours to complete the first time through. For completionists, much more. Thanks for reading. Ah, man. Why did Activision turn this down? This sounded so good. I mean, there are some, some questionable things about it, but overall, this is a really good pitch for a game, and like, I would have really loved to have seen it had at least become something. Even if they had like, okay, we'll go through with it, but like, just don't call it Crash Landed and just change everything about it, art style wise. But hopefully in the future, with more Crash games, hopefully more Crash games in the future, with this stuff being out now, maybe, I don't know, maybe they'll give whoever works on Crash the opportunity to try and see one of these ideas through. I don't know. It's very interesting, very sad. I'm gonna play through the demo again real quick, just because I feel like it. So let's go ahead and let's fire up the final demo build here. Hold on. If I can. Okay. Oops. All right, and then this one. Okay. Oh, no, tabbed out. All right. Better or worse than Boom Bing Crash? What do you mean, the model? I think the model looks great. How long can I continuously just spin? Forever. I really love the spin, like, effect that they give. I love how it, like, kind of, like, just stands still with one of the circles and the other circle just kind of floating on its own. Very stylistic. I've noticed that you can't really like jump off or fall off these platforms, so that's pretty cool. I was thinking when looking at the screenshots when this like tech demo when they showed off screenshots of the tech demo, it looked like you just walk off, and I thought at first that it was gonna be like you're gonna be moving with the touchpad, but I guess they were like, nah, that'd be too hard. Which I feel crash T-pose. It's jazzy music. Just realized that there were no crates like at all. They didn't even like do anything with crates. Wait, is that? Wait, is that? That sounds like SpongeBob. Like it's because I know WayForward did do like a SpongeBob game. They've done a few SpongeBob games, but him getting hit by that sounds like SpongeBob screaming. Maybe it was one of like the placeholder sound effects that they just decided to use. Tom Kenny Crash Bandicoot. Could you imagine? Is there anything past the star? No, just bottomless pit. I think that WayForward and Toys Rob will be a great team to make a new Crash Bandicoot game. Eh, I mean, yeah, it would have been interesting. But yeah, that was the Crash Tech demo by WayForward. Crash Landed Tech demo. You can find out where to get this and obtain this by going to the link in the description, which will lead you to a video on Darkaiser's channel, who was the person that released this. And so thank you to them for providing this, and obviously the people that they got it from for providing it with us, and then obviously the community for funding us to be able to get this tech demo, because that's really cool. It comes with the design document and I think some code, so I'm not really too certain. I'm not really a technical guy when it comes to programming and whatnot, so I'm not sure what you could do with the code, but it's all there. It's all on archive.com. There's a Mediafire download link in the video as well. So yeah. Intergalactic Tazball league build of the console game. That would be amazing. I wish we could get like, because I know there's a video out there that has another like tech demo for Crash Landed that wasn't done by WayForward. It was like another studio. I think it was was it Radical Entertainment? It was. I don't really know who was doing another DS pitch, but there's like a video on YouTube of someone playing through like this like open world isk kind of crash landed DS game. Nothing really there. It's just an island, but I don't think that's ever been like publicly released. And if it has, I just completely skimmed over it and haven't been able to find it since. Um, but yeah, I think a tech demo for the console port, if we could get that, that would be amazing. That'd be fantastic. I know there have been some fan projects that have tried to recreate Crash Landed. There was one a few years back that started up, but I don't think they got pretty much anywhere. They were all remaking it in Unity, and like they had the model, they had like an almost one-to-one recreation of what the world looked like in one of the screenshots of the game. And they showed off some gameplay, which looked pretty promising. But of course, fan projects, it's all done by people that aren't being paid to do it. So life gets in the way, jobs get in the way, and so obviously, not having enough time or dedication to put towards a fan project like that, obviously you can't get it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll be making more Crash content whenever I can.